Hello ladies again, how are we doing today? I was thinking that maybe while I was getting ready to go for a dinner with friends, we could talk about a topic that I think it is very interesting and important in our working life, which is how to be liked by our bosses. I've got some strong opinions on that I wanted to share with you. And I also do think that it is a common opinion that the better that you are liked by your boss, the more options and growth that you're going to have inside your company or maybe outside in the future. Before actually starting talking about this and me doing my skincare, because I just irritated my skin a lot removing some facial hair, I wanted to say that in this channel I talk about how to grow your career and how to balance your work life with your private life as an ambitious woman. Me myself, I do have a 9-to-5 job, and I recently also started funding a company with a friend of mine. We are now partners, and also I am vlogging here, so I think that we can tell that I am an ambitious woman, but that does not mean that I want to resign for being regulated and having fun in life. And in this channel, I talk about this, how to think strategically in your work, and also how you can balance with your private life. So if you want to know more tips about things as how to be liked by your boss without being fake, please subscribe to the channel, and you could introduce yourselves in the comment or leave a comment just so I know that you are there. I'm starting with this toner. I have to buy some new one because it is very soothing and my skin is so irritated that I really need to calm my skin. Circling back to the topic that brought us here together today, how to be liked by your boss without being fake. So every time that we start a new job or we start in a new position or we've got a new job in the same company or whatever, one of the challenges that we have to face is the relationship with our bosses, and that isn't always easy. And besides having to achieve our goals, like our regular performance, we have to build relationships inside our company, okay? And the most important one is the one with your boss, because that person is going to be in charge probably of your career growth. So it is actually very smart to make sure that you've got a nice relationship with them. All right, I think that we all agree with that. Oh my God, I do look ridiculous, but I really need to soothe my skin. Oh my God, I look like a snowman, whatever. I think that a lot of people, when we find ourselves in this situation in which we have to start a new relationship with a person that is higher up in the hierarchy inside the company, we think that to be liked, we need to be nice, extra helpful. We have to stay extra hours and blah, blah, blah. And I think that it is a very common and understandable mistake. Don't get me wrong, I've done that. I've been the person that, trying to impress, went to the office at 7 a.m. and then left at 7 in the evening or 8 in the evening. And trust me, that way leads to burnout, so it's not the way. But luckily I learned from that experience, and I started realizing that it is actually not about being extra nice and working thousands of hours, but it is more about making your boss trust you. I don't know how you can believe me when I'm looking like this right now, like covered in a white layer of cream, but you know, it is what it is. I need to hydrate my skin. So yeah, I think that the key to have a nice relationship with your boss and being like with your boss without being fake is making them trust you. So now we're going to talk a little bit how we can do this and how I've done this, so you can start applying that to your job, and let's see if you find any improves in your relationships, which will probably lead to a easier career growth, okay? Because this is what we are aiming for, because the goal here is not to be the besties of our bosses. What we want is to position ourselves strategically so we can get to the position inside the company or whatever that we are aiming for, okay? So let's start. By the way, the cream that I applied is this one from La Roche-Posay. It's Cica Plus Balm. It is amazing for your skin when you are irritated, and mine is extremely fragile right now. I think I fucked up trying to remove my hair just so I could apply foundation properly. And yeah, I really recommend this one. Also, when it is very, very cold outside and your skin starts cracking around here, works amazingly. First thing that we are going to do is understand how they think. We have to take some time and try to understand the person that we have in front of us. Because the better that we understand the person, the better that we're going to be able to adjust our communication with them. And that's going to be key, okay? Listen to me. So, you've got to practice empathy a lot in this stage, okay? When you meet someone, you have to try to understand how is their day, a day in their life. How is it? What KPIs are they measured by? How many people are in the team? Who are the key players? What projects is he or she involved in? Is it a boss that it is just taking decisions, or is he or she a boss that's actually involved in some projects? Like, how is the workload of that person? I think that you need to understand all of that. And also, I don't think it is a bad idea that at the beginning, when you've got the first meetings with this person, if you've got the opportunity of doing a one-to-one with this person, is asking them, how do you prefer that I report to you? Like, would you like me to send a weekly status? Do you want to talk in meetings? Do you want me to send a recap mail every Friday? Do you want me to write you on Slack every time that I have to do something? What works better for you? So they just can tell you. Okay. And you have to be here very observant. I would recommend you to watch how that person is communicating with other people. Can you see that that person needs validation from others and that enjoys and likes to be listened to? Is it someone that wants a lot of detail, or is it someone that prefers summaries? The more information and the better you know your boss, the easier that it's going to be for you to adjust your communication. So what do I say by adjusting your communication? What I'm saying is that if your boss has 1,000 projects going on, there's a big team and there is some people that requires a lot of attention and is very busy, or he or she has to travel a lot, you can adjust communication with them so it is actually effective and you position yourself where you want. My boss, for example, besides having to manage the team and taking decisions for the company and on the direction that we're going towards to, he's also a person that is actually working and he's leading some projects and he has to do the projects as well. So he's got like some director stuff, but at the same time some marketing to-dos that he has to do, plus all the team and all the meetings that he's got. So I know that he doesn't have a lot of time and that he has to be controlling a lot of things. So without him asking, sometimes when I think it's appropriate, because I think there's been some advancements or whatever in some projects, I just send him a status of the projects that I'm in. So he's got visibility of what's going on, and the status that are sent are more or less like, this is the progress that we've done, these are the next steps, and these last ones are the stops that I have, or something that I need you to get involved so you can take the final decision or just validate if this is the thing that you would like to do or not. This way, what he's seeing is that I've got everything under control. He does not have to worry about me being lost or not, because I'm showing him that I know what my to-dos and my goals are and how to work towards them, and that I only need him to just validate or just to make sure we're going in the right direction, or just if I have a doubt, like, hey, I've done this, and that, but I have this doubt. What do you think about this? So this way, he's seeing me more as a partner and he's trusting me, because in his mind, I'm not making him worry. I'm not adding mental workload to him. This is what I mean by adjusting my communication. I know he's very busy, so I say like, quick, short status. And of course, if he needs more visibility on any of that, we can do a meeting or wherever so I can give him more details. The important here is that he sees there is some structure and that everything is under control. If he was a person that needed a lot of detail all the time, maybe I would say, okay, let's do a meeting every day so you've got all the detail, but that's not the case. The important thing is that you adapt the way you communicate to your boss so it's easier for him or for her to work with you, and that will make them trust you a little bit more, which will make them like you a little bit more. I'm going to put this hair clip on. I bought the other day in Primark because I thought it was cute. So my hair is out of my face, and so I can start maybe putting on some makeup while it air dries. Is it cute? It's the first time that I'm wearing it. Now we've talked about adapting your communication to your boss, and adapting your communication doesn't mean being fake. It just adapt the way you talk to someone. When you talk to your best friend, or you talk to your mother, or when you used to talk to your teachers at school or at high school, university, whatever, the way you communicate is different. But that doesn't mean that you are fake. Simply you are adjusting to the person that's receiving the message. So it's not about being fake. It's just about adjusting the way you deliver the message, okay? You can be a little bit flexible. If someone requires meetings, you do meetings. If someone likes Slack messages with bullet points, better for you. I hate meetings. My tip number 2 for being liked by your boss without being fake, and that is something that has worked for me wonders in every single work that I've had in my life. It is bring structure and not chaos. I want to explain this. I want to do some kind of metaphor, but I don't know if it's going to be the best one. Just imagine yourself as the boss, okay? Like you were the boss. Imagine you, I don't know, imagine you, I imagine myself, Clara, if I was the boss. Like the colleagues that I have, if they came to me, how would I feel if every time they came to me, they were complaining, or they were only highlighting that there are some problems, or worse, that they did not realize that there are problems? That would add me a lot of mental workload. Another example, at home, okay? Because here we are talking about communication, so that applies to different areas of life. So imagine your boyfriend, fiance, or girlfriend, whatever, calls you saying, water is not running at home. Stop. Or you come home after working and he or she is like, oh, there's no water. Or he or she doesn't tell you until you go there and you try to go and have a shower and you cannot do it because there is no water running. How that makes you feel? That makes me feel that, one, I cannot trust them because they are not telling me there is a problem, them as my partner, or he is all informing me about the problem, but he is not taking charge of it, so I will have to. So he's not making my life easier, the opposite one. And the same happens at work. What happens when you do not tell there are some things that need to be fixed in your job, or you actually know the things that need to be fixed and report them to your boss? If you report the things just like that, without offering a solution, the only thing you are doing is adding mental workload to your boss. And that internally to them is going to think and associate that every time they talk to you, it is more things and more tasks and more problems that he or she has to fix added on to the ones that they already have. So that's not how we want them to see us. We don't want our boss to see us as a source of problems, like a person that only is reporting problems. So when we are working, what we are going to do is, if we see there's any problem that needs to be fixed, or you are facing with a problem because you don't know how to do something, instead of just going to them and saying, oh, here's the problem, what do I do? You're not showing any skills of problem solving there. which is bad, what you're going to do is, okay, stop. I've got this problem. I found this. This is something that needs to be done, and I need to report this to my boss. But instead of going to him and just saying what it is, I'm going to first think, how would I fix this? Please, nowadays there's ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, whatever, Claude, use whatever you want. But before going to someone else so they can tell you how you can fix a problem or whatever, sit for a second if you do not know straight away how to do it, and ask any AI, how would you face it or what would you do? Okay, and then you do a little bit of research, you see the results, and then you see if that's something that you can actually do straight away and fix the problem, and then only report to your boss, there was a problem, here's how I fixed it, which would be amazing. That would be the best thing that can happen. But if there's a bigger problem, instead of going there and just bringing chaos, say, there's a problem, but I've done my research, and this is the way that I would face it. I would do A, B, and C. What do you think? And then you talk with them, and you actually see together the best way to do it, but you're showing proactively that you're going to fix that. Your boss is going to see you as someone who can also fix things. So he or she can trust you because you're not bringing chaos to their life. You are communicating properly, and also you're thinking about things that happen and how you can improve them. And this is often the difference between a profile that is more junior, because they go to them, oh, I've got a problem, boss, how do I fix it? And then senior profiles, which problem solving is a skill that is needed and required. So that will also show you that you're not a junior, but you can actually move more into a senior position. Make sense? Let me have some coffee before moving on. Besides wearing a thick layer of moisturizer, I think I need to start doing my makeup because I have to go briefly. So we better start doing this. So the third one is actually quite positive. It's good news. To be liked by your boss, you do not need to be the more brilliant one in your team. You don't need to shine every week, and you do not need to be the smartest one. That's the best thing. You can be perceived by your boss as a top performer without actually being the smartest person in your team. And here's how. Let me add some dots as contouring. I've seen some people do like this. Incorporate consistency builds reputation, but not intensity. Okay? Let's repeat that. Incorporate consistency builds reputation and not intensity. So as I said at the beginning of the video, you do not need to be the one that arrives every day earliest in the office and that leaves the latest. You can actually have a life and be liked by your boss and be properly positioned. All right? You need to build yourself a reputation and make your boss trust you. And you're going to do that by being consistent. There is not much to add here. You need consistency. Simply deliver what you said you would do. And if you can, a little extra at the end, surprise effect. And always respect your deadlines. If then there's a project and they come, oh, you've got to do this on top of what you were doing, you said, I'm excited about doing this, but maybe we need to check the priorities of other projects so we make sure that we can hit the deadlines of everything. Okay? Deliver what you said you do and do not miss deadlines. And if there is any project that you see that you won't be able, instead of trying to do it last moment and trying to hit the deadline, write to your boss before, like, hey, here are some blockers in this project which may be affecting the deadlines. Should we move the deadline, or is there any ways that you can help me enhance blah, 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 so I can actually hit the deadline? So anticipation and consistency, and doing that, your boss is simply going to trust you, and if he trusts you, he likes you. Okay? Now I wanted to mention something that you shouldn't do. I think that you shouldn't take feedback or anything about your bosses about something personal, okay? We are in our job, in our office. We're not talking with friends. Maybe we like also our bosses as friends, but we have to remember that we are working. We are not in the playground with our friends. So if our boss say something to us, some feedback that it's not negative, so some feedback that is negative, which is something that we need to improve, we're going to thank them for letting us know what needs to be improved. And maybe you can ask him like, what should I have done better, or what's the way that works for you to do this, so maybe that can help you. All right, but don't take things personally. If your boss is not replying always on time, of course there are extremes, but if your boss is not the fastest one to reply, please remember he or she probably has more going on that you have. So don't take things personally, like you are not the first priority for this person. Like your boss doesn't wake up thinking about you. You're just another person in the team. So instead of getting disappointed every time they forget about something, please let's have a little bit of empathy and say, hey, quick reminder, I talked to you about this. How do you have the chance to look for it, or do you need to have a meeting so I can actually explain and remind you what this was about? Whatever. And if someday they are not the nicest and because they're stressed or whatever, I mean, there are extremes. If they are not treating you properly, or if it is something very bad, please change job, change company, leave the company, report to HR, whatever. I'm not talking about enduring abuse at work, not at all. But it happened to me that my boss, while we were busy or whatever, he made a comment that I actually did not like and did not appreciate, and I simply commented it with him in a one-to-one meeting, never in public, etc. So don't take everything personal. Think they are also person. Sometimes you're stressed, something you're not. Me, myself, when depending on the week of the month and the stage of my period, or I'm super sensible, or I think that I can do everything, or I think that everyone sucks and I don't know. And sometimes I cannot be the most kind human being, but I'm trying my best, and I do really think that everyone is. Let's not take everything so seriously. This is a lip stain, so from Wonderskin. So my lips are going to look blue now. I know this looks hilarious, but I'm going to have it on for some minutes, and afterwards I'm going to take it off and I'm going to have a beautiful pink tone lips. Lastly, what I wanted to say is try to understand the weaknesses and insecurities of your boss. For example, one of my bosses that I've had in my life, I'm not going to say which one, even though I don't think any of them is going to watch this, but anyway, one of my bosses that I've had, which is a man, he is very private. Okay, he's a lovely person, very fun, he's young, and like really nice relationship with God. And we joke a lot, okay? But there are some jokes that he doesn't like when they are made out loud in front of other people in the office. Or I know that he needs to have the feeling that he's in control of everything. Or if there's something that I don't like, and if I corrected him in front of everyone, that would be the worst that I could do. It would be like shooting myself in one foot. If we want to be strategic and positions ourselves as we deserve, we are going to do all of that in private. And if once you do a joke and you see that he's not laughing because you've done it in front of other people because he's kind of insecure in that, you take a mental note and say, I'm not going to make any other joke in front of other people because I'm making him feel insecure. You get the vibe, right? You're just trying to understand the other person, how the other person feels, and adjust your communication, the way you deliver your problem. Just try to come up with a solution if there's a problem, and at least say this is how you do it, and understand the weaknesses so you do not do things that will make that person be defensive. And doing all of this and being consistent and reliable, your boss is going to trust you, and the more the boss trusts you, the easier it's going to be for you to get promotions, to be respected, and to be listened to. If your boss does not trust you, probably he or she is not going to take your opinion into consideration, or not as much as you deserve, because maybe you've got a strong opinion and nice knowledge. And also maybe you are not going to get involved in projects that you would like. All right. So now I've got this pinky tone and it's going to stay with me for a lot of hours. And then I put this on. All right. Makeup is done. Everything that I said does not imply being faked, just being respectful and strategic. And if you're ambitious and you want to grow in corporate, you need to understand these things so you can actually move and get whatever you want. So by making all of that as you see, you're making it for them, you're going to get more for you. This video could be summarized as, by making your boss's life easier, you're going to be more liked, so you're going to get more opportunities inside your job. If you're ambitious, you have to also be strategic. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. And if you do not agree with anything, I would love to know your opinion in the comments. And if you do agree and you think that you're going to apply something, please let me know in the comments. I would love to build a community of women who are ambitious and have their career goals. And I would love for us to be sharing them, get to know a little bit each other. And I'll keep making videos talking about these interesting topics for us. So I'll see you next one. Oh, and I forgot to add that there's going to be things that you do not like about your boss. Please vent with people that are not your colleagues. Otherwise, this negative energy is going to stick inside the team, and we do not want that. We do not want to be seen as the one bringing bad energy or just complaining and gossiping. And we have to moderate our expectations. We cannot pretend our bosses to be perfect every time. So if there's something that really bothers you, you can talk to them in a one-to-one, in a very respectful way. With everything that I said, doesn't mean that we love our bosses. It's just that we want to have a nice relationship with them so we can work easily and that we do not hate our jobs, and also there is a space in which we can grow. So from time to time, our bosses are going to fuck up, because all of us do. So let's be empathetic, and let's not frustrate ourselves too much, because it is only a job which pays our rents. Okay? Baci!